Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. It's Tuesday the 12th of September. We've got new mods, we've got some updates, 3 new maps out today, including Court Farms. I'm going to say this now, this prep for this mod review has been one of the more complicated ones I've had to do. One of the mods should be a mod review in its own right, and I will make a mistake, I know I will. Apologies if I do, but anyway, we'll crack on. Updates then. The map Agroland by Agrocapira has had an update that says new save game is not required. The Case IH Magnum 340-400 Series Special Edition FL by Mac Trucker 921, the Komatsu 931 Harvester Pack, Jen's Cobra Hybrid, and MAN-TGX Forest Semi-Truck, all free by HR Forst und Fahrzeugbau. The Timber Pack by Silver, and the Street Lamps by Team JZD Vid Hostis. Mods then. I'm going to have to try and be as quick as I can, sorry, or I can get through everything. In front of me we've got the European Fence Pack. This by the Lort, 1.24 megabytes download, 2 slots on console, 3 different designs. This one here. This one here. And this one here. Under build mode, under fences. Sorry, decoration, then fences. Out on the end there. Slot counts of 2, according to this, stay at 2. And fences, place and demolish, just as you do within the other fence sections. There's no gates with these. If you want to demolish them, go up to demolish, click on them, and demolish each panel as you go along, or the whole lot, or whatever you want to do. It's entirely up to you. That's the European Fence Pack by the Lort. Next to that we have got the Medium Shed. This is by Zapalacz. 7 slots, 10,000 to buy. There's no lighting. You get it just like that. It's under build mode and sheds. Just there. Slot count will come down from 7 to 1. That's that one. Next door to that we have got this. This is the Small Combine Garage by Vertuzek. This one is 9 slots, 20,000 to buy, 15.92 megabytes download. Also under build mode and sheds. This one just there. Slot count will come down from 9 to 1. Again, no lighting. Nicely made, nicely detailed, nicely weathered. There you go. That's the Small Combine Garage by Vertuzek. Next we have got the Selfmade Hall. This by Rentner Modding. 7 slots, 30,000 to buy, 13.29 megabytes download. Also under sheds. Just there. Slot count will come down from 7 to 1. As I said, 30 grand to buy. Again, no lighting. Drops down quite steeply. I say steeply, it's a shallow angle, but it gets very low at the back, is what I meant to say, not steeply. It's quite low at the back, so it depends what you're going to actually place in that. I suppose header trailers, things like that, maybe. I don't know. It's entirely up to you. That's Self-Made Hall by Rentner Modding. Next to that, we've got the Old Polish Wooden Shed by Vertuzek. 6.09 megabytes download, 5 slots on console, 15,000 to buy, and guess where you'll find it? It's also under sheds. Just there. Slot count also comes down to 1, 15 grand to buy. That's by Vertuzek. Next to that, we've got this. This is the Barn with Chicken Coop. This is by LeoLeo. 8.76 megabytes download. I think it was 8.76 or 8.26. 8.76 megabytes download. 37 slots, 40,000 to buy. This will hold 50 chickens. Under build mode, under animals, under chickens. Just there. Slot count will come down to 2. We've got a dialogue box at the front here. Got doors that open for various different little bits there. This little one will open here as well. If you want to get in there with your chickens, as you can see, they do come out the front as well. This one opens, that little side door opens. There's doors open all over the place. We do have lighting, so on and off shed lights. We can go up the ladder onto there. There's a raised section with the door opens at the end if you want to store stuff. Whoops. Apologies for that. This door opens. and that one does. Now I'm making an assumption here because there's nothing showing where the egg pallets will spawn. I mean, I'm hazarding a guess that I'm saying in here. They might not do. It might be outside somewhere, but it seems logical. Oh, we have got an outside toilet. Well, I say an outside toilet. It's inside, but around the back there, a little toilet there as well. If you need to use the toilet in an emergency, you absolutely can. Feed at the front. That's the barn with chicken coop by LeoLeo. Next, we've got the post-German cowshed. This by arcu, 22.25 megabytes download, 7 slots on console. No, 23 slots on console. It holds 7 cows. That was the way round. 30,000 to buy. Again, lovely detail on this. The brickwork looks absolutely fantastic. Now this is, I suppose it looks more like a kind of a milking parlour, I guess, because when you open this door here, your 7 cows are literally all 7 lined up there at the trough. I wouldn't want to keep animals in here. We have got lights on and off, but you could have it like that. You know, it could be your milking parlour. Dialogue box is just here. Milk point is just here. We've got doors and stuff that open all around this as well. This isn't drive-through, but we have got a light switch in there as well. This is the largest section, but we do have up here hay loft at the top, again for storage of whatever you're doing. This bit is drive-through. Just here. Apologies if I'm rattling through. Like I say, my mind is already panicking about about what's to come. So that's the under build mode, under animals. See what I mean? I've just gone to pieces. Under cows, out in the end, 30 grand. Slot count will come down from 23 to 1. Very nice indeed. Oh, slurry point is around the back. If you want manure, actually, did I put any bedding in this? Yeah, I did put straw in here. I was going to say, did I put straw in? If you want manure, you're going to have to put a manure heap in, but your slurry point is around the back here at these drains. The post-German cowshed by arcu. Next, we've got this. This is the seeds production by DS Power. This is 1.93 megabyte download, 13 slots on console, 25,000 to buy. If we go to our managed production, which is just there, this does one recipe only. It's wheat, herbicide and water, seeds out. I didn't turn it on. So I've put some in, as you can see, 16,000 litres of wheat, 2,000 of herbicide and 8,000 of water, and then that will start producing seed for you. So it's only wheat, no other crop types come into that one. Shows you on the side there, quite straightforward. Putting in, trigger is just here, into the mixer. Taking out is done here. You'll find it under build mode, under productions, under factories. Just there, slot count on this one comes down from 13 to 1. That's the seed production by DS Power. Next to that, we've got this building here. This is the silo facility by doodoo. This is 7.92 megabytes download, 8 slots on console, 300,000 to buy. Has a 1 million litre capacity, and this is a multi-fruit silo. Interesting design. In and out, in done here, out from the spout just there. Under build mode and silos is where you'll find it. We scroll along to silos, just there, silo facility, 1 million litres, slot count will come down from 8 to 1. Now, I've got a whole load of stuff out here. I'm going to finish with all of this because there's something I want to do, hopefully, to show you it working or show you the potential for this. This is the greenhouse modular, or the modular greenhouse. No, I'm sure it says greenhouse. Yeah, greenhouse modular. We're going to get onto that last. So next then, we've got this. This is the Selfmade Bale trailer. This is by Zinoz LP, Glumpii and privatprivat. This has got two versions, two variants. We've got an auto load, which is this one here, which has got the hazard markings on. And if you don't have auto load, you get this one. The one that's not auto load, you can have straps with. The one that is auto load doesn't have straps. You don't want to unload onto the trailer on this one. A lot of auto load trailers, when you unload onto the trailer, you can then strap it down. But to avoid any problems, that's not been done on this one. So if you unload onto the trailer, the auto load one, these will fly around all over over the place. So the best thing with auto load is not to unload onto the trailer, but you can unload onto the ground. Now this will do, I think it's 115 mini bales. It will do 3 standard square bales, and it will do 8 round bales. Now I tried this with the liftable bales pack and some larger bale sizes, and it said bale size not supported, or bale type not supported. So as far as I can tell at the moment, when you put 3 on, it says 100%. So 3 square bales, 8 round. You will find this under bale loaders. Just there, 3,500. Like it says 115 bales there. That's if you get the tiny ones, the tiddlers. So that one, automatic loading, all bales. Yes or no. So yes gives you the hazard markings. No, it looks like that. With the no option, we do then have the option to put extension front, extension back, or both on there if you want the extensions on there, but you don't have to. If you go for the auto load on, it puts those on automatically. Then we've got wheel brand on both of them exactly the same. We've got BKT or Vredestein, and the BKT we've got standard, standard 2, Vredestein, standard or standard 2. Those are our choices. So I'll show you what I mean. Start that up. Whoa. Good driving, MrSealyp. So at the moment we are on transport, operating position, 3 bales, bottom right it says 100%, that's your 3 bales on. For unloading of said 3 bales, like I say, if you unload them onto this trailer, the auto load, there are no straps and they will fly off. So you're best off just leaving them in this configuration. You can put it in transport position, but don't unload onto the trailer. When you get to where you're going, you want to unload bales, press triangle, right stick, side to side, or up or down, and it will show you with the hazard markings where it's going to put them, and you can see where it's going to put them anyway. You can go either side of the trailer. You can go up a little bit higher, not too much higher. Then unload bales here, and it unloads them. If I now do L1 and up on the D-pad, it puts the hazard markings back on the trailer, and I'm good to drive away. If I then lower loading platform, that resets it. And if I then operate in position again and go to the round bales, it'll put the round bales on, and we're good to go. Again, transport position, and off we trot. We get to where we're going, same thing to unload. Unload bales, whichever side we want to go. Lower it down. Whoa. A bit more gently maybe than that. Unload bales here. Reset that. Oh, probably want to straighten up a little bit before I drive away. There we go. And then lower loading platform. That's your auto load. And the standard one, you load yourself, unload yourself, but it does have straps. So it doesn't have to be bales on this one. You can put pallets and stuff. And as you can see, it does have a rear trailer hitch. I did bring them both out together so you can join multiple ones of these up. Because this one doesn't have straps, you can't load more on. I mean, 3 seems not, it doesn't seem very many. But anyway, that's what it does. It loads up 3. So that's the self-made bale trailer by Zinoz, LP, Glumpii and privat. Next we've got this. This is the Lizard RMTB3-24 trailer. This is by caleruega modding design, 14 megabyte download, 8 slots on console. You will find it. Other tools and trailers just there, 29,500 for the base model. Slot count will come down from 8 to 1. We've got capacity 28,000 litres, 23,000 litres, bale trailer option, or back again. We've got wheel setup, standard, standard 2, spare wheel yes or no at the front, and a license plate option. No choice for colour or anything like that. Hop in, start this up. I have got some wheat in here. We have got the option of tip side back or tip side grain door. If I do tip side back, no, wrong one. It's one of those days. I'm teetering on the brink of a nervous breakdown. I can feel it. Right, so once unloaded, whoa, wasn't expecting that to go further back. Anyway, so once unloaded in this configuration, where I've got under L1 and right stick side to side. It does that. R1 and right stick side to side. Does that. L1, R1 and right stick up or down. Does that. So we can open it right up. So if you want to put pallets on it, or I guess bales or anything like that, you can. So you can open it up. Because you can have it in bale trailer configuration anyway. In this configuration with it open though, it doesn't have tension straps. So if you do put pallets and stuff in here, they might move around a little bit, but you do have the option to open the whole lot up if you want to. That's the Lizard RMTB3-24 by caleruega modding design. Next we've got the pole log trailer. Today was one of those days as each mod unfolded I was like, oh no, there's like pack after pack and more stuff and more stuff. Oh, the pole log trailer by Kenny456, 4.92 megabytes download, 2 slots each on console. We have got a front section which attaches onto your fifth wheel. We've got the pole section here, and then we've got a dolly section here. So we can attach directly to the fifth wheel, and then this section attaches to the pole. Each of these has got trailer hitches, or you can have the dolly section which can attach to the pole section, but again with rear trailer hitches you can hook this together in all different combinations. So you can buy them individually like that, or you can buy it like that in that version that goes on the fifth wheel, or like that in the dolly version, or like I say, just mix and match. You can just keep hooking the poles to the back if you want to and have multiple ones running. Now this only has tension straps on the front sections of each of these, because I think in real life do these rotate? It's just supposed to be to allow free movement of the logs. These don't have a tension strap at the back section here, so I go around this, but it does at the front here. Fasten tension belt, there you go. So the front sections do, the rear sections don't. If we go into, I'll show you where they all are. Under Forestry, so pole log trailer front part on its own. Did I write down the slot counts for these? Oh, it's 2s across the board for all of them. So front section, and this is the same for all of them. We've got a main colour option of anything on that pallet. So that option is the same on all of them. So that's your front section, fifth wheel option. Then you've got the pole trailer rear part. We've got a rim colour option on that as well, as changing the colour option. And then you've got the dolly section, again, main colour choice or rim colour choice. And then we've got combines the pole log trailer front and rear, or the pole log trailer dolly and rear. Again, colour choice, rim colour, license plate option on those as well. So it depends if you want to buy the whole lot as one. I like the fact that rather than forcing you to buy whole sets then sell bits off, you can buy a whole set and then add to it with these, or just pick one of these, whichever way you want to go about doing it. So what can we do with it? Let's hook up. So this does have, where are we? That one, that one. That can extend forwards and backwards depending on what you've got it hooked to. If we hook onto the pole itself, the pole can then extend. No, that's that one. I want that one. So we can extend our pole all the way out. So depending on the length of the logs that you are transporting, we can take it all the way out there, or we can bring it all the way back in again. Not that one. I'll do it again. So from when you first get it, you can actually bring it all the way right in. So if you're not transporting logs, you can bring the whole thing shorter for driving around, or if you've got shorter logs, you absolutely can. But as I said, you can then hook these up in different configurations. So if I go for the dolly, just hook up to the dolly at the back. I can then hook another onto the back of that. If I disconnect that completely, and then go on to the fifth wheel version with the dolly version behind it. If I hook up to that, do that, I can extend that all the way out, back up a little bit, hook onto that one, I can extend that one all the way out. We are good to go for some long log hauling. Nice and manoeuvrable, not too expensive. Did I even say what the prices were? I'm so sorry. Yeah, 22, 20, 34, 42. I mean, yeah, the front section 12, so not really that expensive. And very versatile. Nice kit that. That's the pole log trailer by Kenny456. Next we've got the lizard cart, which is here. This is by SleutjesModding. 4.65 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. You'll find it under vehicles, you'll find it under cars. 1250, 23 horsepower. Standard configuration like that if you're feeling brave. Original, you have back bumper, side bumpers, frontal, all bumpers are off. Then you've got no numbers, or you've got number 1 on there, all up to number 15. Sorry, 19. Number 15. Then we've got main colour. It does the bottom of the frame. So let's go for something that stands out other than the red, so you can see it change. Blue. That one's got metallic. Chassis colour is all the rest of the metal parts, like that. Then we've got bumpers. We can change the colour of those. Let's go for that. Whoa, okay, shiny. Then we've got engine cover, which is on the outside here. Engine cover colour. If I change that to green, for example, and then rim colour. Again, anything on that colour on that palette, we've got chrome, or anything else on there you might want to go for. Hop on, start it up. It doesn't have a horn, doesn't have lights. This is proper Mario Kart. 31 mile an hour top speed. And it sticks to the road like manure to a blanket. Bonkers, but fun. So if you're trying to get around your greenhouses or your dairy or whatever it is you're trying to get around a little bit quicker, just going to check on the animals, why not go in the go-kart? There we go, that's the lizard cart by SleutjesModding. Next we've got the Phoenix, where are we? The Phoenix Flatbed Salt Truck. It's by Farm Mods TV. 14.06 megabytes download, 10 slots on console. If you go for the salt truck, it's got a 10 metre spread width. So you've got the salt truck, 8,000 litre capacity, or you've got a flatbed version just here. These you'll find under vehicles, under trucks. Just there, 60,000 for the base model. Flatbed standard, you can have it salt truck. Under flatbed, well, I mean, under all of them, but flatbed or salt truck. But then we got the options here for Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, BKT, back again. Then doors of the flatbed. If you've gone for the flatbed version, you go standard, open at the rear, completely open, so complete flatbed, or back again. Attachers plus trailer hitch on the back if you want trailer hitch on there. Main colour does the cab. Rim colour, you've guessed it, does the rims, and a license plate option on there too. We come back up and we go to salt truck. It takes some of those options away because you don't need the option to change the sides or anything like that. We can't change the colour of the salt back holder, and you can't change the colour of the sides either on the flatbed. Like I say, 8,000 litre capacity with a 10 metre spread width if you go for that version. Jump in, start her up. Beacons, lights. Does sound good. Nice bit of movement on the cab. Nice bit of movement on the suspension. Rear steer on the rear axle. We do have tension straps on the rear bed. Unfold the truck does that for loading or unloading if you've gone for that option. Interior. Then the salt truck version, as I said, 8,000 litres. I haven't got anything that needs salt, but 10 metre spread on your salt once you put it in there. So if you want to do a bit of salt spreading in the winter, go for it. Blimey, what's happened to the ground over here? It's all gone a bit Pete Tong. There we go. Very nice indeed. The Phoenix Flatbed Salt Truck by Farm Mods TV. Which brings you on to this one. The mods today, they're rubbish. Oh, you're welcome. This is the TGS Skip Loader. This is by sbacs. 17.09 megabytes download, 19 slots on console, and then under miscellaneous on the back we've got the skip itself, 6,000 litre capacity, 4 slots for the first one. We've got some colour choice options and stuff in this. It's very cool. Now that one's got stones in it, that one's got potatoes in it. Once that was fully loaded with stones, whoa, it did not like that one little bit. I will show you in a moment. If we go back to our trucks, there's our skip loader, 130 grand, 500 horsepower for the base model. We've got Trelleborg with a standard and a wide, and then we've got Continental, BKT, and back again. So Continental and BKT just have those options. The Trelleborg has a standard and wide. Main colour option, anything on that palette. There's some metallics to start off with. Loader platform does all of that section of those 4 colours. Loader arms, again, anything on that palette. Rim colour, any one of these, including chrome, silver, dark steel, and then we get onto the blacks and matte blacks if you want to go for that. License plate option on there too. If we then go down to miscellaneous, that's where you find the skip, 1,500, I said 6,000 litres. Slot count will come down to 1 on that. Cover yes or no. Skip colour, I mean that's your sort of, I say your standard skip colour, it depends where you live of course. Anything on that palette for the skip. So jump in, start it up. Beacons. Horn, lights. Now I've got one on here already. You can open the cover. Once you've got a skip on here and you get to where you want to unload, if we want to unload here, goes through an unload sequence, just like that. This goes back. Now, we do have the option to manually move and extend, but it won't go through the full range of motion that you need to unload. So what I wanted to do, bring that back down. Oh, blimey, come on. Like that. But to unload it, we do load container, it runs through its cycle. And we are good to detach. Now you have to be careful. At this point I then do have manual control, so I can adjust it more if I want to do a bit more adjustment. But when it swings, if it swings sideways, you have to be careful when you come to fold it back up again, it doesn't get caught on the arms. But when we put that back down again and then disconnect, it will do that. We can fold it back up again. Now I'll show you what I mean with the stones. If you've put something in one of your skips that's too heavy and it doesn't like it, it won't pick it up. Now, potentially there are a few different modded weights that you can put on the front of lorries and things like that, which might help. But I would just say just be careful, be aware of it. So, I want to be lined up as best I can. Go for our unload cycle. Now it gives you the option to do the manual adjustments. So if you haven't got to quite the correct position, it will still, you'll get to the point now where it will say load like that. Now if you're not happy with that, I can extend that out so it looks a little bit better. Attach the skip, but you can see with stones in that, even if I bring that arm back, there's no way it's going to lift that. If I try and manually lift it, oh I don't know, maybe we're going to get away with it. Oh, you know what? When I was trying this before, I didn't like it one little bit. We obviously just got lucky there. Oh, there we go. Just gently does it. Now I can then, if I want to, now you have to finish off with the unload or load container, otherwise it doesn't put those supports back. So I can manually move it, but I can't manually do the supports. That's the only difference. Open cover, and then we can do the same thing. We can tip with that if we want to. So we want to do the stones, unload here. Is it going to tip the whole lot up? Potentially. Oh, we're alright. There you go. That's the TGS Skip Loader by sbacs. Now, prepare yourselves, because this may take the whole rest of my record time. This is the Greenhouse Modular by Kastor D-S-Agrarservice. Now, this can be used in combination with the Modular BGA. I haven't got that out, because that opens up a whole another minefield of things that you can do, but it can be used in conjunction with that. So the modular greenhouse allows you to go into greenhouse work on a more industrial scale. This is in, I mean, people will download this mod within 48 hours of playing with it will be like, oh, it's a piece of cake. It is, if you play with it for a while and if you fiddle around with it. Bearing in mind, I've sort of got it out, sort of had a bit of a fiddle around with it to try and get my head round it. And I've probably put 20 minutes, half an hour into checking it all out. I'm going to make a mistake. We have got greenhouse modules, 18 of them. If I jump into the air, I will show you them laid out. So these clear greenhouse modules are all out. I'll show you where they all are. Slot counts, I didn't write down for these, but I think they varied from 4s, 5s, 6s, maybe a couple of 9s. But what we've got, in essence, you can have a very basic, I say very basic, you can have a basic greenhouse setup. It's just a greenhouse and you bring stuff to it manually and run it like a greenhouse. Then we've got all these side ones here which allow you to have storage for vehicles and machinery. These will pay you money every hour because they've got solar panels on the roof. We've then got these sections that have got pallet storage, we've got fertilizer distribution, we've got substrate distribution, we've got a heating plant so we can provide them with heat, so we can increase our productivity. Now, this first section here, these are modules 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is the left side modules. I think we've then got 5, 6, 7 and 8 which are open both sides, as you can see, but have doors on the end, so you can add to the left and the right on this. I think that's the right one. I'm just going to have to check this because I've got a picture of it here. I've got a picture that I can see. Oh dearie me. No, hang on. Modules 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we've got 5 and 6, which are these ones here. So 5 and 6 are corner pieces, left corner pieces, but without the door. So 5 and 6 are here. Then we've got this one here. So 7, 8, 9 and 10 are the centre sections. We've then got 11 and 12. Now 11 and 12 are centre sections but don't have doors. Confused you yet? So as you can see, open either side but don't have doors. This section here is open either side, and this, which is in essence a travel way for vehicles, forklifts, skid steer loaders, is open both sides. So the difference between this one and this one, and this one and this one, is the fact that this one here and the one at the back has got a door on it, this one doesn't. Then we move on to modules 13, 14, 15 and 16. Now these are the right hand side modules that have doors, and then we've got 17 and 18, which are the right hand corner modules that don't have doors. You can then make up combinations of these in any different way you want. If you make up a basic configuration of those, you can just run it as a normal greenhouse. You put in the things that need to be put in. Let's go over to one, and it will run like a greenhouse, which is fine. When you start adding in all the extra modules around the outside, these extra modules allow you to supply the greenhouses automatically. So you've got a manual rig, then you've got an automatic rig. This is, like I say, this could have been and probably should have been a mod review in its own right, but with 3 mod maps dropping today as well, I honestly don't know when I would have got to it. So if I come to here, manage production, tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, we've got different cycles, but then if you look at what it's given you as a recipe, that one's water, substrate, seed and fertilizer, no problem at all. If we then come down, we've then got substrate, we've got a different water source, we've got nutrient water, we've got hot air and seed, so that improves our recipe And if you do all of it together, to come up to the right hand side, we've got water, we've got greenhouse substrate, seed, solid fertilizer, greenhouse substrate distributable, nutrient water and hot air are all the things we can put into this. Now if you want to just go basic, you can just do water, substrate, seed and solid fertilizer, and off you go. If you want to add in those other things, we can get this running more efficiently. But to get those other things put in, you need all the extra peripheral stuff that comes with it. So, under build mode, under production, under greenhouses, and this is where you'll find. Now, the thing is with this set, like the modular BGA, it's not cheap. It's expensive to do. If you look at the prices of these sections here, so greenhouse module 1, which is this one here, 85 grand, module 2, 85 grand, module 3, 15 grand, module 4, 85 grand. I think all of these modules are 85 grand a piece. That's module 5, that's module 6, then as I said we've got 7, 85 grand, 8, 9 cross piece, 10, 11 and 12, then again 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 85 grand a pop, apart from the cross sections which are 15. Now you can make really long ones, really wide ones. The configuration of this is, you can just keep going with it. It's entirely up to you. You can just keep adding and adding and adding, and yes, it's multiple greenhouses as you go around, but the possibilities to this kind of become almost endless. If we come off productions and go to buildings and we go to our sheds, you get these sections here. Now these are shed sections. So we've got annex hall left, 45 grand, annex hall right, 45 grand, and then we've got a centre section there, 25 grand. Now these can be placed on the sides of, open sides of the greenhouses. So for example, if I get this one here, if I want to, if I've got an open side, now when it gets to this point here, I have to turn off the toggle free mode. So I can place it right up next to the greenhouse, which then gives me storage to the side of the greenhouse if I want to do that. If I want an end piece on it, I can rotate the end piece round, and I can put it on the other side of one if I want to. So we can have sheds to the side like that, and then you can add to with either more greenhouse pieces or more of these, or storage sheds. Oh dear, the mind boggles, and my mind is boggling. So that's the shed sections. Then we come to silos. Those ones are 6 slots and 5 slots. If we come to silos and scroll across, we've then got this, which is our pallet storage. That's this one over here. 35 grand. It will hold 200 pallets. Again, these can be placed on the open sections of a greenhouse or a greenhouse set, or whatever you want to do. It's entirely up to you. So you can have storage for your pallets within the greenhouse complex itself, or outside the greenhouse complex. If you want to put these together, for example, if I did that and put that with the center section, I could just have these greenhouse sections, or these building sections put together and build a whole modular storage building if I want to go down that road. That's under silos. There's nothing under silo extension. Then we come to productions. Let's get more complicated. Why not? So under productions, we've got this one here, which is the fertilizer blending station. So this is the one that requires the special greenhouse water, seed and fertilizer. That can all be put into this one and mixed, and then you can set it to distribution. That will distribute out to the greenhouses. So again, how you place it, where you place it is entirely up to you. You fill it up, or you can have something else distributing to here. The mind boggles. And out it goes. That's the fertilizer blending station. That was 11 slots. Is that right? Yep. Then we got the next one, which is the substrate storage. So the substrate is what you need to put on the ground, and you can buy pallets of substrate storage as well. So this is your substrate storage. 30 grand. Slot count 9 comes down to 1. We can store substrate in here, and it can then distribute out to the rest of the greenhouses. Or you can just put substrate directly into the greenhouses. Again, up to you. Then we've got the groundwater pump. It's this one here. Now this requires diesel and or electricity. So if you are running something that provides electricity, like the modular biogas plant, you can have that set to distributing, and your electricity can supply this. This will then provide you with water and the groundwater. I supplied this with diesel, and I think I've got electricity coming from somewhere else. I think. Then we've got this section here. What was the slot count on that? The water pump, that was 4 slots. Then we've got the thermal generator, which produces heat. Now this requires methane. Now if you've got methane, a way of providing methane, there are quite a few modded versions. If you've got a methane tanker, you can bring methane directly to it, and you can fill this up with methane and you can run it. Or you can have this also supplied by a biogas plant. So this will have methane coming in, and it will produce heat, hot air that goes into the greenhouses, keeps them a regular climate. But you don't have to run that if you don't want to. That is 4 slots, because if you don't want to run that, you can then move on to this, which is the Combined Thermal Power Station, the CHP. This requires straw or wood chips, and it will produce electricity and hot air. You can have the electricity then distributing to this, and the hot air distributing to the greenhouses. Still with me? I hope you are. That is 10 slots, but as you can see, 580,000 to buy that. Now the other thing as well, this wouldn't unload from a trailer. Sorry, I couldn't get this to unload from a trailer. I had to use, or I used the Dr. Drulia belt system, or you can use buckets or whatever you want to do. But there's something else weird that's happened with this, which I'll show you in a moment. I'm hoping this is all going to make more sense in a minute. If we then come down to our pallets and big bags, and we go to our pallets, we've got our greenhouse substrate and our greenhouse seed. Now I have also bought some standard seed, because I wasn't sure. I don't see any reason why that is greenhouse seed, but it's just got the seed icon, so you should be able to bring any seed to the greenhouse. Any seed should work. The substrate you do require. There might be other mods that produce it, but as far as this mod goes, it does supply it here. 950 for 1,500 litres, so if you want to, you can buy it. I have already put some in, but you get that from pallets. So what we'll do, I've kind of shown you already this bit. We whiz over to here. I said pallet storage is 200. That works like any other pallet storage does. You bring your pallets over, they will go in. When you want to take them out, you come to here, and they will come out onto this point here. This one, if we manage this production, you will see solid fertilizer. Well, I've got 2 of those. Oh yeah, because one of them is solid fertilizer, one of them is liquid fertilizer. So solid fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, and greenhouse water distributable. All those things coming in, which I've got now. Let's do that and that. And I've got that on distributing. So I'm now producing nutrient water, which is the byproduct, or not the byproduct, the product of this, which the greenhouses need. So if you want to up that production, and you want to use that recipe that uses nutrient water, that uses heat, that uses all those things, you're going to need this facility for distributing. I don't think there's a tanker that comes with this pack. There might well be, and if I've missed it, I do apologise. So this facility, you can put all those things in, or have them come to this and distribute into the greenhouses. The next one is the substrate storage, and I have already got some in here. As you can see, the thing is showing you. So greenhouse substrate, 1000 to 1000. You have to set it to run. So incoming and outgoing distributable, and I've got that on distributing, so that should then go out to the greenhouses when I've got one set up. If we come across to this here, we say water. So we've got groundwater pump. We've got water and water, either produced by diesel or electricity, depending on what you've got coming in. And then you've got this one here, which is your greenhouse water distributable, also by diesel or electricity. You don't have to have them both running. You can just have diesel if you haven't got electricity. And you set those up to run. And again, I've got those to distributing, so they'll be sending out to the greenhouses, in theory. Next to that, we've got this. So as I said, coming in, methane, going out, heat. I filled this up with methane from a tanker and got it from one of the Buy Anything silos. Or you can run this production here, as I already showed you. Wood chips in, straw in. Now, that, if you look at the capacity top right, wood chip and straw, that's not full. But when I put straw into this, it said it was at maximum capacity for straw. It would not let me put any more straw in. So I've got that now running, wood chips and straw. That is now producing electricity and hot air. Both of those I've set to distributing. So those can distribute electricity out to the thermal generator. And away we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to set up a basic greenhouse setup. They're all distributing. If I go over the next hour, it should start distributing to all of these. But I don't want all of these out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a load of these down. I'm going to build a basic one and kind of show you what I mean. I might build one up against some of those buildings. It's, like I say, it's a minefield. And there are so many configurations you can do with this. I can't possibly show you every single configuration. But because you've got the roller doors for getting skid steer loaders in and out, we've got plenty of room between. And I think depending on what you pick will depending what it shows you when they come out. As you can see, we've already got water, air, and it says substrate, but I haven't set anything to run yet. Maybe these will all run. Right, I'm going to have to set this up as a proper greenhouse, otherwise this is going to look absolutely ghastly. Bear with me. Right then, just to test my sanity to make sure everything was right, I've set this up as a basic greenhouse. None of the peripherals added onto it. So, the thing you have to remember as well is these modules that you put on, each of the modules that has a section in it for a greenhouse is a separate greenhouse. So even though I've gone for, and this is just a front section and a rear section with the kind of walkway, vehicle way in between. I haven't gone for a middle section, just 4. So this is actually technically 4 greenhouses. If we come into here, you will see, bottom right, because I've sped up time, everything that was producing in those other buildings, the heat, the fertilizer, the substrate distributable, the nutrient water, all those things that I showed you, they have all, when they're set on distributing, have all distributed into this building. They have also distributed into that building. Now I put seed in here and I bought some solid fertilizer over and put it in here. So these should now, if I go to my productions, put those on, you'll see, actually you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one, let's do that one just tomatoes. Is that just tomatoes? Yeah. This one at the back. We'll put this one onto lettuce. So that's what the lettuce beds look like. So that's your tomatoes, and that's your lettuce. And this one, and they are all running with all the various different things that have all been put in here. This one we will go with strawberries. So that's what your strawberries look like. Hydroponics with heat and substrate and all the stuff. It's all very efficient and it works really well. And then we've got the fourth one there that we can put onto whichever one we want. So they're all running, and it's running perfectly. It's doing exactly what it should be, and it's big. Now all of these, I filled this up in here using a telehandler. I got in and out of here with the telehandler under the door. If you put these walkways in, you can get in and around no problem at all. So that's that version. This version, I used the centre section open both sides. And this side that was open, I put the storage buildings, so just garages, and then the centre section I put a pallet storage. So not only have I got my greenhouses in here that I can be running, so I've got my greenhouses in here, and this one I went for a 3 section, so a front section, middle section, a rear section and a walkway, so that's technically 3 greenhouses and pallet storage, but I've left this side open. I left this side open so that if you wanted to, you can either add more greenhouses all the way across and keep going. By adding more of these centre sections, you can just bounce them along and put loads in. Or, if you want to have 3 greenhouses running, all of those production buildings that are producing all those various different things, I can have those on this side of the building if I want to. So again, incredibly modular. Now what I didn't put in here was any seed. But what you might notice is, bottom right, it says seed. The reason being was, You know the seed production we looked at earlier over there? I set the seed production over there by DS power to distributing, and that's distributed its seed from there into here. So if you've got anything that's producing seed, it can do that. The other thing I wanted to test was, will it take seed other than, well it already has because it's taken it from there, other than the seed pallets provided in the mod. And as you can see, it's taking that seed out of seed bags as well, no problem at all. So it will do, it will take anything it wants. The only thing that's missing from here is solid fertiliser. But I just wanted to show you that, you know, the modularity of this being, I mean, it's absolutely crazy what you can set up and what you can run. And the fact that those buildings are all the way over there, producing their heat, producing their ground source water, producing the nutrient water, producing the fertiliser, all the stuff that it needs to, the substrate, that's all distributing from these buildings into here, and they're running. I suppose the only problem being that when you've done this, if you've set up a greenhouse like this, if you want to extend this, you've got to demolish a greenhouse that's already got everything in it, if you've got it up and running. So I think you have to be quite decisive early on about how you want to do it, or if you want to, set it up with one open side all the time. So I know realistically you wouldn't want that open to the elements, but if you think yourself, I might want to extend this at some point, then you might want to leave one side open to extend if you want to. And like I say, I can add whatever I want to that now. Centre sections, which is just glass panels like this one here, or whatever. I know I keep stressing it over and over again, but I hope it's made sense. I know it's a complicated system. Have a play around with it. As you can see, it does work. I was kind of fumbling my way through initially, trying to work out how it all worked and get my head around it. But once you start putting stuff together and working out what does what, it actually works really well. And to be able to get vehicles in and out as well, I think it's brilliant. So anyway, that I hope that's right. That's the greenhouse modular by Kastor D-S-Agrarservice. That's it for the mods for today. It's taken me so long, it's nearly 8 o'clock at night here. I've got to edit this and I've got to get it up. So Coop farms will be tomorrow morning, and then I'll get onto the other mod maps as soon as I can. I'm sorry for the delay. It's taken quite a long time to set this up, but I hope you found it useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.